Hello,
Hi,
my name is Kabir. What's your name?
my name is Jackie.
What are you studying?
BE.
Where are you from?
I am from Mumbai. And you?
I am from Bangalore.
Spoken English.
Friends, hi everybody. In today's class, we are going to learn present perfect continuous tense. Have you ever heard about present perfect continuous tense? Do you have any idea when should we use and why should we use and how should we use? Okay, fine. Let's discuss when should we use this tense. What is the name of the tense? Tense name is present perfect continuous tense. This is the fourth tense in present. In present there are four tenses: simple present, present continuous, present perfect and present perfect continuous. So this is the fourth tense. Okay, let's see what is the definition of this tense. See, you can see in this slide there is a beautiful definition. The tense which is used to indicate an action which was started in the past and which is still going on at the time of present is called as present perfect continuous tense. So friends, if you don't understand it, let me give you some beautiful examples. Do you have any idea about present continuous? When should we use? Come on, tell me if you have the good idea about present continuous. Tell me when should we use present continuous? Present continuous is used to tell present running works, to tell present ongoing works. For example, just imagine that what are you doing right now? You are watching Mana TV. Okay, my question is, dear friends, tell me what are you doing now? To answer my question, you should use present continuous. Okay, because I am asking about your present continuous work. So to answer my question, you should use present continuous. My question is, dear friends, what are you doing now? Your answer is, sir, I am watching TV. I am watching Mana TV. Okay, fine. So this is called present continuous. When should we use present continuous? Present continuous is used to tell present ongoing works. Whatever we are doing right now, to tell such works, we should use present continuous. Then when should we use present perfect continuous tense? See friends, present perfect continuous tense should be used to tell the works which you started in the past. Whatever the work you started in the past means it may be yesterday or last week or last month or last year. See friends, whatever the work you started in the past, that work should be going on even in the present. Past started works should be going on in the present also. To tell such works, you should use present perfect continuous tense. For example, today in the morning, exactly at 6 o'clock you started watching Mana TV. That's fine. Imagine that. Today you started watching Mana TV exactly at 6 o'clock. You have decided to watch Mana TV program from 6 to 8. It's your today's schedule. Just imagine that so that you can understand well. Friends, now I am going to tell you two tenses. When should we use present continuous and when should we use present perfect continuous tense? How should we use these two tenses? Okay, if I compare this tense with another tense, you can easily understand. See, your today's timetable is watching Mana TV program from 6 to 8. You have decided to watch Mana TV from 6 to 8. Okay. Exactly you started watching TV at 6 o'clock. You are going to end at 8 o'clock. Okay. At 7 o'clock from Mana TV, okay, from Mana TV, one executive came to your home. Just imagine that. At 6 o'clock you started watching Mana TV. You have decided to watch this program till 8 o'clock. But at 7 o'clock, an executive came to your home from Mana TV. Okay, just imagine that. For example, he is asking you, what are you doing now? To answer his question, which tense should you use? Come on, present continuous or present perfect continuous? You should use present continuous because his question is, what are you doing now? To tell present running works, you have to use present continuous tense. Your answer is, sir, I am watching TV. I am watching TV now. I am watching Mana TV now. Right. His next question is, how long have you been watching how long have you been watching Mana TV? See, he wants to know the time. He wants to know when did you start watching TV. So to answer such questions, you have to use present perfect continuous tense. Sir, I have been watching TV since 6 o'clock. See, in that situation we have to use present perfect continuous tense. Did you understand? Once again I am going to tell you, friends. Today you started watching TV exactly at 6 o'clock. You have decided to watch this TV till 8 o'clock. 6 to 8 your timetable. Just imagine that you have really started watching TV exactly at 6 you started. You are watching. Now the time is, look at the watch, look at the clock. Now the time is 7 o'clock. It's exactly 7 o'clock. Who came to your home? Just really imagine that you are watching TV. While you are watching TV, an executive entered your home from Mana TV. Okay? At 7 o'clock, he came to your home. When did you start watching TV? You started watching TV at 6 o'clock. When are you going to end watching TV? At 8 o'clock you are going to end it. But at 7 o'clock, one executive came to your home. He is asking you, dear students, what are you doing now? Your answer is what? I am watching TV now. Present continuous. Next he is asking you another question. How long have you been watching TV? Your answer is, I have been watching TV since 6 o'clock. See, at 6 o'clock you started watching TV. You are still watching TV now. So whenever you continue your past started works, to tell such works, you should use present perfect continuous tense. It's very important tense. Friends, you came to know when should we use since and for. Now let's learn how to write sentences in present perfect continuous tense. I have already told you that if you want to write sentences in every tense, there will be a structure, there will be a frame. So what is the frame of this tense? See, in this slide you can see the frame or structure or principle. Subject plus have oblique has plus been plus V1 plus ing form, means ing form. Then object or extra words. That is the frame. See friends, when you take subjects like I, we, you, they and any plural, have been should be taken. When you take subjects like he, she and any singular, any name, for example doctor, teacher, actor, professor, lawyer, conductor, collector, like that, has been. Okay. After I, we, you, they, you should take have been. After he, she, you should take has been. Okay. See, I have been reading a story since morning. Here is one example. I have been reading a story since morning. We have been reading a story since morning. Next, third one, you have been reading a story since morning. They have been reading a story since morning. He has been reading a story since morning. She has been reading a story since morning. It has been reading a story since morning. Any example you can take. You can take names also. For example, Srinivas. Srinivas has been reading a story. Okay. Next, you can take any girl name. For example, Gautami. Gautami has been reading a story. You can take any name. You can take kids names like, for example, Anjali. Anjali has been or have been. Anjali has been reading a story since morning. Okay. Hasini. Hasini has been reading a story. For example, let's take two names, Anjali and Hasini. Plural, no? Anjali and Hasini have been reading a story since morning, like that. You can take any subject. For example, my friend. My friend has been or have been. My friend is singular. For any singular, has been. My friend has been reading a story since morning. Next, my friends. My friends is a plural subject. So, for plural subjects, what should we take? Have been or has been? Have been should be taken. My friends have been reading a story since morning. See friends, this is the process of writing sentences in present perfect continuous tense. For I, you, they and any plural subjects, have been should be taken. For he, she and any singular subject, has been should be taken. After I, you, they, have been. After he, she, it has been. Okay. Next, in this tense there are three keywords, since, for and how long. Okay, I have already explained when should we use since and for. Okay, three keywords are there in this tense. Next, we should learn types of sentences. Four types of sentences will be there: positive sentences, negative sentences, interrogative sentences and negative interrogative sentences. Next, for example, here there are two subjects, they is there and he is there. They have been watching TV since morning. Now I am going to show you how to write four types of sentences. Did I tell you or not? In every tense there will be four types of sentences. They are positive sentences, negative sentences, interrogative sentences and negative interrogative sentences. First, let's learn these four types of sentences with one subject, that is they. They is the subject here. See in that slide, they have been watching TV since morning. This is positive sentence. Next, negative. They have not been watching TV. Good. Interrogative. Have they been watching TV since morning? Next, negative interrogative. Haven't they been watching TV since morning? See, this is the process of writing positive, negative, interrogative and negative interrogative sentences. Next, shall we learn how to write 4 types of sentences with another subject, that is he. He has been playing cricket for 2 hours. Subject is he. Has been or have been? Has been should be taken. When should we take has been? For any singular, he, she, it and any singular name, any singular noun, has been. For any plural subject, have been. Come on, tell me. For example, subject is you. Have been or has been? Have been. You have been. For example, subject she, has been or have been? Has been. They have been. You have been. Kiran has been. Okay. Now I am going to ask you different subjects. Try to tell me when should we use have been or has been. Subject is I. Come on, tell me. Should we use have been or has been? Have been. For example, we have been. You have been. They have been. He has been. She has been. Good. Then shall I ask you some names? Are you ready to tell answers? Can you say when should we use have been and has been? For example, my friend, have been or has been? Has been. My friends have been. Doctor has been. Doctors have been. You have been. She has been. That's great. Okay, here subject is she. In this example, there is a subject called he. He has been playing cricket for 2 hours. That is positive. Negative is what? He has not been playing cricket for 2 hours. Interrogative, has he been playing cricket for 2 hours? Negative interrogative, hasn't he been playing cricket for 2 hours? See friends, this is the process of writing positive sentences, negative sentences, interrogative sentences and negative interrogative sentences. If you understand these 2 examples, you can write all types of sentences with any subject. Now let's learn types of questions. Okay, in this tense also, in present perfect continuous tense also, there are 2 types of questions, yes or no type questions and WH type questions. Okay, see here yes or no type questions. One example is there, have you been reading a book since morning? Or you can change, have you been reading a book since 8 o'clock or since 2 o'clock, or have you been reading a book for 2 hours, or have you been reading a book for 2 days or for 2 months or for 1 year. You can use any time. Okay, have you been reading a book since morning? This is yes or no type question. How should we start yes or no type question? With helping verbs. Okay, next, has she been waiting for you for 2 hours? Has she been waiting for you? See, next, for example, Balu or Balakoti, any name. For example, has Balu been sleeping since morning? Okay, any example you can take. You can change with the same subject, you can change the sentence. Has Balu or Balakoti been learning spoken English for 1 month or for 2 months in Hyderabad? Okay. Next, WH type questions. Okay, here 2-3 examples are there. One example with why and one example with how and another example with where. Okay, 3 examples are there. So what is the first example for WH type questions? Why? Why? Why has Shiva been teaching English since morning? Okay, why has Shiva or why has Shiva Krishna or any short name or full name? Why has Shiva been teaching English since morning? Next example, how has she been going to office for 2 months? How has she been going to office for 2 months? Next, one more example, where? Where have they been working for 20 years? Where have they been working for 20 years? See friends, like this, in this tense also we can divide the questions into 2 types, yes or no type questions and WH type questions. Yes or no type questions should always start with helping verbs, and WH type questions should always start with WH words like what, where, when, which, why, how, like that. Did you understand it? Next, friends, in this table we are going to learn how to ask yes or no type questions with 4 important subjects. In this table there are 4 subjects. They are you, they, he and she. How many subjects are there? 4. You, they, he and she. For example, I am asking you a question. Have you been learning English for 2 months? Have you been learning English for 2 months? If you want to say yes, yes, I have been learning English for 2 months. If you want to say no, you can say like that, no, I have not been learning English for 2 months. Okay, you is the subject here. Next, they. Have they been learning English for 2 months? Have they been learning English for 2 months? This is the question. Answer is yes, they have been learning English for 2 months. If you want to say no, no, they have not been learning English for 2 months. Okay. Next, shall we see the next subject? What is the next subject in this slide? He is there. Has he been learning English for 2 months? Answer is yes, he has been learning English for 2 months. If you want to say no, you can say like this, no, he has not been learning English for 2 months. Next, what is the last subject in this table? She. Come on. Has she been learning English for 2 months? Has she been learning English for 2 months? The answer is yes, she has been learning English for 2 months. If you want to say no, you can say like this, no, she has not been learning English for 2 months. Friends, some of you may ask a doubt, sir, here why did you use for? Why don't you use since? See friends, here 2 months, it is not a point of time, 2 months is a period of time. So that's what whenever we mention period of time, we should use for. That's what in this table we have used for 2 months, okay, for 3 months, for 6 months. If when you want to mention any month name means you can use since. For example, I have been learning English since July, since August, since September, since November, like that. Whenever you want to mention any month name, then you can use since. Okay friends. So the same table should be practiced with at least 20 verbs. Friends, if you want to remember for a long time, okay, you have to practice this table with 20 to 25 different verbs. In this table, we have taken only one verb, that is learning. Okay, you can practice the same table with another verb. For example, watching TV. Have you been watching TV? Have they been watching TV? Has he been watching TV? Has she been watching TV? You can take another example. Have you been playing tennis? Have they been playing tennis? Has he been playing tennis? Has she been playing tennis? Next, one more verb. Have you been working in Hyderabad for 2 years? See, 2 years is a period of time. That's what for. For example, if you want to mention year name, have you been working in Hyderabad since 2014? Like that. So, have you been working? Have they been working? Has he been working? Has she been working? So, friends, please practice this table with at least 20 verbs. Okay, did you understand how to practice this table? But my kind request to all of you is practice the table with only one verb so that you cannot get confused. In this table, 4 columns are there, no? In every column, you have to use the same verb. After getting good knowledge, you can change the verbs. For example, like this. Have you been playing tennis? In the first column, I have taken playing. Next, second. Have they been reading a book since morning? See. Next, he. Has he been working in Hyderabad for 2 years? Next, she. Has she been singing a song since morning? Like that. In every column, you can change the verbs after getting good knowledge on this topic. So, till you become perfect, till you get good idea on this topic, please practice this table with 20 to 25 verbs. Okay. Shall we see the next table? Shall we learn how to ask WH type questions from present perfect continuous tense? In the previous table, what did you learn? You learnt how to ask yes or no type questions. So, in this table, you are going to learn how to ask WH type questions. So, in this table, we are going to practice with where. So, where is the WH word? For example, now I am asking you. So, I came, for example, you all are living in Hyderabad. I know that, but I don't know that when did you come to Hyderabad. I don't know that how long have you been living in Hyderabad. So, that is what I want to know. Okay, I am asking you. Friends, actually for example, I don't know where have you been living. I don't know whether you have been living in Hyderabad or whether you have been living in Chennai or Mumbai. I don't know, but I want to know. I am asking you. Friends, where have you been living since 2010? This is my question. You are in Hyderabad, but I don't know. Okay. So, that is what I am asking you. Friends, where have you been living since 2010? Where have you been living since 2010. This is my question. What's your answer? I have been living in Hyderabad since 2010. This is your answer. That's great. Next, second subject, they. Where have they been living since 2010? The answer is they have been living in Hyderabad since 2010. Next subject is what? He. Where has he been living since 2010? Answer is he has been living in Hyderabad since 2010. Next subject is what? She. Where has she been living since 2010? The answer is she has been living in Hyderabad since 2010. Friends, in this table we used since. Why did we use since? Why didn't we use for? Because 2010 is the point of time. One year name is there. When you know the time exactly like this, you have to use since. For example, if you don't know the year name, just if you want to mention just 2 years or 3 years or for 10 years, then you should use for. For example, where have you been living for 2 years or for 6 years, for 10 years? See, then you can use for. Answer is I have been living in Hyderabad for 2 years or for 6 years, for 10 years, like that. When you see year name, since should be used. Did you understand? So in this table, which verb has been taken? We have taken a verb, living. See, in the total table only this verb is there. Where have you been living? Where have they been living? Where has he been living? Where has she been living? Answers: I have been living, they have been living, he has been living, she has been living. So you have to practice this table with at least 20 to 25 verbs. Otherwise you may forget. If you want to remember how to ask WH type questions, okay, you have to practice at least with 20 to 25 verbs. Shall we practice the same table with another verb? Where have you been playing cricket? Where have they been playing cricket? Where has he been playing cricket? Where has she been playing cricket? One more example. Where have you been working? Where have they been working? Where has he been working? Where has she been working? One more example. Where have you been teaching? Where have they been teaching? Where has he been teaching? Where has she been teaching? See, 4 subjects are there in this table: you, they, he, she. If you practice with these 4 subjects, you can easily ask questions with any subject. For example, shall we take a new subject? New subject name is Sanjay. Come on, where has Sanjay been living? Where has Sanjay been living for 2 years or since 2009 or 10? If you want to mention year name, since. If you want to mention period of time, for. Where has Sanjay been living? Okay, Sanjay has been living in Hyderabad. Okay, let's take another name. For example, Sujata. Where has Sujata been living? Answer is Sujata has also been living in Hyderabad. So like that you can take any name. Okay, for example, if you take a plural noun, for example, Sanjay and Sujata, it's a plural noun. Where have Sanjay and Sujata been living? The answer is Sanjay and Sujata have been living in Hyderabad. Okay, like that you can take any subject, friend. When you take any singular, third person singular, has. When you take subjects like you, they, and any plural, have. Okay, did you understand how to ask questions with where? Shall we see the next table? The next table is why. The next table is why. So here in this table also there are 4 subjects. They are you, they, he and she. We are going to practice this table with why. So why is the WH word here. Okay, why have you been going to Delhi for 2 days? For example, you have been going to Delhi for 2 days. You have some important work in Delhi. Okay, I want to know why have you been going to Delhi for 2 days. So today I came to your home to know where have you been going for 2 days. So that's what I am asking you. Friends, please tell me where have you been going or why have you been going. If I want to know where have you been going, I should ask the question with where. Where have you been going for 2 days? For example, I know where have you been going. For example, you have been going to Delhi, but I don't know the reason why have you been going to Delhi. So that's what I am using the questions with why. If I don't know the place, I should ask the questions with where. Where have you been going for 2 days? If I know the place, I should know the reason why. So that's what in this table we are going to know the reasons. Why have you been going to Delhi for 2 days? Very simple, friends. You have some important work in Delhi, okay? That's what you have been going to Delhi for 2 days. But I don't know that you have some important work in Delhi. So that's what I am asking you. Friends, come and tell me, why have you been going to Delhi for 2 days? Your answer is, I have been going to Delhi to meet PM for 2 days. See, I have been going to Delhi to meet PM for 2 days. Next, they. Why have they been going to Delhi for 2 days? The answer is, they have been going to Delhi to meet PM for 2 days. Next, why has he been going to Delhi for 2 days? The answer is, he has been going to Delhi to meet PM for 2 days. Next, last subject is what? She. Why has she been going to Delhi for 2 days? The answer is, she has been going to Delhi to meet PM for 2 days. Friends, in this table we have used going only, okay? Shall we see the next table? The next table is what, okay? This is the new table with a new WH word. What is the WH word here? What. For example, you are learning something, okay? 2 months ago you started learning something, but I don't know what have you been learning for 2 months, okay friends? Just imagine that you are learning something in Hyderabad, okay, but I don't know what have you been learning in Hyderabad for 2 months. So that's what I am asking you. Friends, please tell me, what have you been learning for 2 months? Somebody told me that 2 months ago you started learning something, but I don't know what is that. That's what I am asking you. Come on, tell me, what have you been learning for 2 months? Your answer is, I have been learning English for 2 months. If you want to mention a month name, means you can use since. For example, friends, what have you been learning since June or since July? If we want to mention the names of the months, we should use since. For example, in the month of March you started learning something. So now I am asking you, friends, what have you been learning since March? The answer is, I have been learning English since March. If you want to mention any point of time, any month name, means since should be used, but in this table there is no point of time, period of time is there. That's what we did not use since in this table, only for is there. When should we use for? For should be used to mention period of time. 2 months is a period of time. So shall we practice again? First subject you, second subject they, third subject he, fourth subject she. Come on, what have you been learning for 2 months? Next, what have they been learning for 2 months? What has he been learning for 2 months? What has she been learning for 2 months? See, very simple. Then shall we learn how to answer these questions? You answer my questions, I'll keep on asking questions, okay? Come on, you answer my questions. Come on, tell me friends, what have you been learning for 2 months? Your answer is, sir, I have been learning English for 2 months. Any subject you can use, not only English. I have been learning computer, I have been learning physics, okay? I have been learning music, I have been learning dance. You can use any object, okay? So you received my first question and you have given answer. I thank you very much. Next, are you ready to answer my second question? Come on, tell me. Now I am asking about your neighbors. Your neighbors also started learning something, but I don't know what have they been learning. So that's what I want to know through you. Friends, please tell me, what have they been learning for 2 months? So now you are asking, who are they, sir? Your neighbors. I am asking about your neighbors. Aha, okay, you are asking about our neighbors, sir. Okay. Sir, they have been learning English for 2 months. They also have been learning English for 2 months. Oh, that's great. Now, I am going to ask about your friend. Your friend also has started learning something, but I don't know what has he started learning. So that's what I am asking you. Friends, what has he been learning for 2 months? Your answer is, sir, he has been learning English for 2 months. Wow, that's great. What a beautiful answer that you have given. Good. Next, she. For example, your sister started learning something, but I don't know what has your sister started learning. So that's what I am asking you now. Friends, what has she been learning for 2 months? Your answer is, sir, she has been learning English for 2 months. Friends, in this table we have taken only one verb, that is learning. You can, same table you can practice with different verbs. For example, what have you been writing? What have you been writing? Same table but with different verbs we are going to practice. Same table, not next WH word, the same WH word, what. For example, what have you been writing? What have they been writing? What has he been writing? What has she been writing? Okay. One more example. What have you been thinking since morning? Or what have you been thinking for 10 minutes? What have they been thinking? What has he been thinking? What has she been thinking? So every day in the morning you should practice this table at least with 20 different verbs. First you practice slowly. What have you been reading? What have they been reading? What has he been reading? What has she been reading? Next, one more verb. What have you been writing? What have they been writing? What has he been writing? What has she been writing? So in the beginning you should practice like this. But if you want to get fluency in English, if you would like to learn fluent English, don't practice like that. Practice like this. For example, a verb is play. What have you been playing? What have they been playing? What has he been playing? What has she been playing? For example, reading. What have you been reading? What have they been reading? What has he been reading? What has she been reading? Writing, for example. What have you been writing? What have they been writing? What has he been writing? What has she been writing? So like that, take different verbs. For example, taking. What have you been taking? What have they been taking? What has he been taking? What has she been taking? Like this you should practice with at least 20 to 25 verbs. The next table is which. Okay, which is the table here. So in this table there are 4 questions with which. For example, which subject have you been teaching since 2015? For example, you all are teachers of English. Okay, I came to know that you are teaching English, but I don't know that when did you start teaching English. So that's what I am asking you. Okay, friends, tell me, which subject have you been teaching since 2015? The answer is, I have been teaching English or Telugu or English or Maths, any subject you can say. I have been teaching English or I have been teaching Telugu for 2 years or for 10 years. But if you mention year name, since 2015, I have been teaching English since 2015. Next, which subject they have been teaching? Which subject or which subject have they been teaching? Answer is, they have been teaching English since 2015. Next, which subject has he been teaching? He has been teaching English. Okay. Which subject has she been teaching? She has been teaching English. So time, it's depend upon you. You can use, if you want to use, you can mention time. Which subject have you been teaching since 2015? Which subject have they been teaching since 2015? Which subject has he been teaching since 2015? Which subject has she been teaching since 2015? Answers, I have been teaching English since 2015. They have been teaching English since 2015. He has been teaching English since 2015. She has been teaching English since 2015, like this. Shall we see the next table? The next table is how. In this table there are 4 subjects. We are going to practice these 4 subjects with a new WH word, that is how. For example, how have you been going to office for 3 years? Okay. Friends, for example, you all are government employees. Okay. Imagine you all are government employees. You go to office regularly. But I don't know how do you go to office regularly. Okay. For example, I am asking you, friends, about 3 years ago you got a job. Okay, you go to office every day, but I don't know how do you go to office every day. That's what I want to know. Okay, friends, come and answer my question. Friends, please tell me, how have you been going to office for 3 years? Your answer is, sir, I have been going to office by car for 3 years. If you use any vehicle name, you can use by. My question is, how have you been going to office for 3 years? Or if I want to mention year name, how have you been going to office since 2014, like that. Or if I want to mention month's name, how have you been going to office since June? How have you been going to office for 2 months? Next, for example, days. How have you been going to office since Monday? See, point of time, that's what since. or period of time. How have you been going to office for 10 days, for 15 days, for 2 days, like that. Okay. First let us practice this table, next let us practice the same table with different verbs. Okay, shall we practice it? Come on. How have you been going to office for 2 years or 3 years? Okay, how have they been going to office for 3 years? How has he been going to office for 3 years? How has she been going to office for 3 years? So, how have you been going? How have they been going? How has he been going? How has she been going? Answers are, I have been going to office by car or by bus or by train or on foot also you can say. So, here in this table what is there? I have been going to office by car for 3 years. They have been going to office by car for 3 years. He has been going to office by car for 3 years. She has been going to office by car for 3 years, like that. Same table with different verbs. I am asking you, today you started writing something. At 9 o'clock you started writing something, but I don't know what have you been writing since 9 o'clock. That is what I am asking you. You are writing something, you are writing a story, but I want to know how are you writing that story. Okay, friends, please tell me, how have you been writing that story since 9 o'clock? You can answer, sir, I have been writing this story well since 9 o'clock. So, all the subjects, how have you been writing that story since 9 o'clock? How have they been writing that story since 9 o'clock? How has he been writing that story since 9 o'clock? How has she been writing that story since 9 o'clock? Next, one more example. You started playing tennis. With Sania Mirza you are playing tennis. Imagine, really imagine that you are playing tennis with Sania Mirza. Come on, now you are not in front of this TV. You are playing tennis, you are in a ground. In the opposite of you, Sania Mirza is there in that court, in that tennis court, you are playing tennis with Sania Mirza. Okay. You are playing tennis, but I want to know how have you been playing tennis. At 4 o'clock you started playing tennis. Come on, answer my questions. Friends, how have you been playing tennis with Sania Mirza since 4 o'clock? How have they been playing tennis with Sania Mirza since 4 o'clock? How has he been playing tennis with Sania Mirza since 4 o'clock? How has she been playing tennis with Sania Mirza since 4 o'clock? See, like this. Answers, I have been playing tennis well, they have been playing tennis well, he has been playing tennis well, she has been playing tennis well. If you want to mention time, you can use either since or for. I have been playing tennis with Sania Mirza well since 4 o'clock. If you want to mention period of time, means for 2 hours. I have been playing tennis well with Sania Mirza for 2 hours, like that. Shall we see what next? Friends, in this table about 8 WH words are there. Okay, in this table 8 WH words are there. So, we have already practiced 5 WH words. So, here 3 more WH words are there. Okay, friends, you should learn how to ask WH words with every WH type questions with every WH word. So, in this tense there are two types of questions, yes or no type questions, WH type questions. So, 9 WH type in English there are totally 9 WH words. Okay, we should learn how to ask questions with every WH word. Okay, in this table what is the first WH word? What is there? For example, what have you been watching since morning? Today morning you started watching something, but I don't know. So, that is what I am asking you. Answer my question. Friends, please tell me, what have you been watching since morning? Your answer is, sir, I have been watching a movie since morning, like that. When you use morning also, you should use since. For example, you are watching TV since morning, but I don't know where have you been watching. That is what I am asking you. Friends, where have you been watching TV since morning? You can answer my question. Sir, I have been watching TV since morning at my home, like that. I have been watching TV at my home since morning, like that. Next, why have you been watching TV? I am asking you, why have you been watching TV? See, friends, if you learn a question how to ask with one WH word, you can easily ask the WH type questions with any WH word. First, you should learn how to ask a question with one WH word. For example, what? See, what have you been watching? Okay, same sentence you can change with different WH words. what have you been watching, where have you been watching, why have you been watching, with whom have you been watching, okay, which program have you been watching, like that. Next, whose book have you been reading, okay, like that also. Next, how have you been watching TV since morning, how have you been watching, or how have you been playing. You can change the verbs also. We don't need to practice with only one verb. As you are the beginners, you should practice the table with only one verb. That's what in this table for maximum sentences I have selected only one verb, that is watching. See, among 8 sentences we have used watching for maximum times. So in this table only one subject is there, that is you. See, what have you been watching, where have you been watching, why have you been watching, how have you been watching. In every subject only, in every line only one subject is there, that is you. Some of you may ask a doubt, sir, you can change the subjects, why did you use only one subject, you from top to bottom. You can change the subject in every line. Friends, it's not a great deal, it's not a great work to change the subjects, it's very easy to change the subjects. But why didn't I change the subject? See friends, while you are learning, you should practice the total table with only one subject, so that you can get good knowledge on this table. After getting good knowledge, you can change the verbs, you can change the subjects also. For example, see, please practice the same table with they, okay. For example, what have they been watching, where have they been watching, why have they been watching, how have they been watching. See, very simple. In the place of you, you can use they, okay. Shall we practice the same table with he? What has he been watching, where has he been watching, why has he been watching, how has he been watching. Next you take she, next subject is she. What has she been watching, where has she been watching, why has she been watching, how has she been watching. See, with whom has she been watching. So like that you can ask with any subject. You can take names also, you can take any name, okay. For example, Hari is the new subject. What has Hari been watching, what has Hari been watching. Next one, let's take one more subject, Santosh. What has Santosh been watching. Sanjay, what has Sanjay been watching. You can take any name, okay. You can take girls names also. For example, Radhika, what has Radhika been watching since morning, okay. Next, Pranita, what has Pranita been watching. You can take any name friends, or Ramakrishna, or Hari, or Suresh, or Srinivas. You can take any name. For example, Nageshwar Rao, Devi Chand, any name you can take. Arjun, okay. You can take any name friends. When you take a singular name, has, what has Raju been taking, what has Raju been taking. When you take two names, for example, Raju and Srinivas, what have Raju and Srinivas been doing, like that. Friends, please practice this table with at least 20 to 25 verbs. Did you understand when should we use present perfect continuous tense? So friends, present perfect continuous tense is used to tell an action which was started in the past, okay. But whatever the work was started in the past, that past started work should be going on even in the present. To tell such works only you should use present perfect continuous tense. For example, today at 2 o'clock, you started playing cricket with Tendulkar. Imagine today exactly at 2 o'clock you started playing cricket with Tendulkar. Till 4 o'clock you have decided to play. Now you are playing. Imagine today in the afternoon you started playing cricket with Tendulkar. You are going to end this game at 4 o'clock. At 3 o'clock Sania Mirza called you. At 3 o'clock Sania Mirza called you. While you are playing cricket, Sania Mirza has called you and asked you that what are you doing now. Which tense should you use? Should you use this tense? No, present continuous. Because Sania Mirza has asked you that what are you doing now. To answer her question, you should not use present perfect continuous tense. To tell present running works, you should use present continuous. I am playing tennis, I am playing cricket. Her next question is, how long have you been playing cricket? See, to answer her second question, you can use present perfect continuous tense. The answer is, I have been playing cricket since 2 o'clock. So friends, like that. Can I give you one more example? One day you have decided to go to Tirupati. So you went to Kachiguda railway station. Okay. In the morning exactly at 6 o'clock you went to the railway station. You started waiting for the train. Okay. You reached the station at 6 o'clock, but a train will come at 9 o'clock. At 8 o'clock Amitabh Bachchan came to you. Okay. While you are waiting for the train, who came to the station? Amitabh Bachchan came to the station. Imagine that at 9 o'clock you reached the station. Okay. I am sorry, at 6 o'clock you reached the station, train will come at 9 o'clock for example. At 8 o'clock Amitabh Bachchan came. Once again, you reached the station at 6 o'clock, but a train will come at 9 o'clock. But at 8 o'clock, who came there? Amitabh Bachchan came there. Just imagine that this is the railway station. Now you are waiting for the train. Amitabh Bachchan came to you and asked you that, what are you doing now? To answer his question, which tense? Present continuous. Sir, I am waiting for the train. Next you see his second question, how long have you been waiting for the train? Your answer is, I have been waiting for the train since 6 o'clock. See friends, whenever the opposite person asks about your works which you started in the past and the works which are going on still now. So to tell your past started works which are still going on, to tell such all works you can use present perfect continuous tense. Examples, I have been teaching English for 10 years. He has been working in Hyderabad for 2 years. They have been waiting for the train since 8 o'clock. She has been sleeping since morning. Okay. Narendra Modi has been working in politics for 40 years. Like that. To tell such examples, we can use present perfect continuous tense. In present perfect continuous tense, we should always use ing form. The main verb must be ing form, and two helping verbs are there, have been and has been. For I, we, you, they and any plural subjects, we should use have been. For he, she and any singular subjects, we should use has been. Okay, did you understand friends, when should we use present perfect continuous tense? Okay, it is used to tell past started works which are still going on. Okay. In this tense, 3 keywords are there, since, for, how long. These 3 keywords are important. Since is used to mention point of time, for is used to mention period of time. Okay. Did you understand well? It is very important tense friends. I hope you understood very well. Today you paid great attention. I thank you very much for your kind attention. Let's meet in the next class.